All right, guys, just gonna go over what I do when I make my custom knife sheaths. I got a piece of poster board here that I use for my pattern, different lines for different sizes, and this is just one of my patterns we've come up with. I trace this out to my leather, just a piece of Herman oak leather. Five, 6 ounce. Make marks here for my stitch lines. And that is it. Then I'll come in here where I made these marks, and I won't go all the way to the top. Just about 3/16 away. That'll be that mark. And you'll see why here in just a bit. But that is basically where my sheath is. I don't know if you can see the marks or not. You can cut this out with scissors. You can cut it out with whatever you want. Today I'm just going to use a X-Acto knife so you can kind of see you don't have to have anything special. You don't have to have a clickers. I mean, the clickers definitely make it easier. If you're doing the same pattern over and over. If you're going to use the X-Acto knife like this, the biggest thing I can tell you is to keep it straight with the leather. So that your leather is not cut at an angle when you get it all out of there. I know my hands are in the way for some of this, but that's just the way it is. This is definitely not the easiest way to do it, but it works. I've just had surgery on both of my hands, so just kind of getting back to full use of my hands here, but we're about to get it through all the way around. Here we go. So, your edges, you may have to clean up a little bit when you do your edges, when you're doing it with this knife, but nothing terrible. So then what I do from there is I will do a 3/16 stitch line around it. If you can see that or not. This will be my stitch line when I go around the sheath. Now, the center part here will be where I will do my tooling or stamping or whatever you want to do inside there. And so then I will take this same 3/16 and you can stamp the whole thing on the inside. You can do part of it, whatever you want to do. draw my lines. And if you get off a little bit, it's okay. It's all correctable. Because then you're going to come back with your knife. I've got a couple different knives. This is the one I use a lot of. I think it comes from Weaver leather. And where I just drew those lines. I just come right back in and cut. There are many ways to do this. This is just how I do a lot of them. And there's that. We're just gonna do a basic basket stamp on the inside of this here. Make sure your leather is cased, and doing well with that. You can add or whatever you want to do with in the center there. You can just basket stamp the whole thing, or not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this into two pieces here, and we'll basket stamp the top and the bottom. Put a little design right across it here. I know that this is going to be the width that I need. For that, and I usually like 2/16 off here and here. We'll draw another line there in a minute, and you'll see where I'm going with it. So then we'll connect the dots there and draw our straight line. And same thing on the top. So this may not be something you want to do, or you may change it up and do it however you want to do it. This is just one of my styles of sheaths that we do a lot of. People seem to like it. Come back through there, just get those edges back right. We'll take this board off. And we'll do something like this. This is a Berry King stamp. They've also got it in the craft tool. Either one, they both work well. And what I do is I try to start like here, and it will leave you almost an arrow on the end of it. You'll see when we get done. But just put one side of this in your line you just cut, and come on down. Try not to let your tool bounce. Just want to stamp in there good. If you let it bounce, you'll get a double stamp like I did on that first one, but we'll clean that up. And you're just trying to space them out where they're fairly close to each other. And what I like to do, once I get that done, I'll kind of come back in here and I'll clean this edge up just a little bit more with my stylist. And you kind of got a nice design with the arrow pointed on each end. Gives it something extra to go by. You know, you can do this however you want to. I'd like to keep my basket stamp at the same angle as that design. So I'll just draw me a couple faint lines on it there like that. Come in here with my basket stamp. I don't try to get all the way up against the edge very hard because I'm gonna go back around with the camouflage afterwards, and I don't like the two of them stamping on top of each other. This is the easiest way you can basket stamp. You can just do it without the lines. Not a problem. If you're not used to doing basket stamp, the lines will help you stay in a straight line. Takes a little more time to do it this way, but for the video's sake and everybody, what we're doing, this makes it so you can see. And just keep connecting your lines. Nothing to it. Same here, just go right back over your same. See this, the marks here? You just put the edge of this right back in those marks. And if you're off here, you can make a little mark there so you know exactly where you're gonna put your stamp. When you see me here like this, I know it's hard to see, but I'll kind of stamp it back this way and then this way, so I'm not getting the stamp hard on this edge. So when I go back over it with the camouflage tool, it won't be stamping over top of each other. Do the same thing on this side. And you can kind of see there how it kind of fades off there. So we're not getting real tight on the edge. Or real deep on the edge, I guess I should say. And there. And there. The key with the basket stamp is just keep using your same marks so you keep it all straight. Just like that. Then you can come right back in with your camouflage tool. This is just a craft tool D436. Just a half shell. And go right around your edges. And the same thing with the top. Just keep them on your line and work it right on around. Just like that. put your mark on it here, which is what I do on these if you have room. If not, put it on the back when you get done, which I'll do that too. Just like that. And that is your basic sheath. This is the knife that will be we're making it for, made out of a rasp and has staghorn handles. When we get done, I'll put the welt in there and the knife will set inside there just like that. So next thing we'll do is cut your belt slots. You can buy something like this, whatever size you want to cut your slots. You don't have to have that. Just a hole punch. This is a 5/16 hole. You don't have to have special tools to do all this. I mean, some of that makes it easier, but this works just fine. And get the little crap out of here. Now, if you have those slot tools, they work great. What you can do is just line, I don't know if you can see it or not, I just line the ruler up right along the edges of those holes. Come in with your X-Acto knife. You don't have to cut deep, just make your cut across there. Just like that. Same thing on this side. You can eyeball this, you can use your ruler, whatever you prefer. You just want them nice and straight. Then I get rid of the ruler. And I cut it like this. And I don't put a lot of pressure, just let the blade do its work. Let it get through most of the way till the end. But you're going all the way through. You'll feel when you're through the leather like that. If you keep cutting like this and try to go all the way across, you're going to end up making cuts out here that you don't want to do. So that's why I don't cut it all the way. Then I go back from this end. Cut it like that. And it will cut right out of there. If you got a piece like this, you're just gonna this one to be a little aggravating. I don't know if that's a little spot in the leather. This didn't want to work right, but here we go. And then do the same back here. And there's your belt slots. Usually people have like 1.5 inch belt, so you want to be over 1.5 inches. Sometimes you got to be like this side. It's a little narrower, so it's a little over 1.5 inches. Belt to still go in there fine. This side's a little larger, and that is basically how to cut out a sheath and stamp it. The next video, I'll show you what all we can do. You can paint this design a different color. You can resist these pieces, and then stain it. However you want to stain it, however you want to do it from there. After I do that, then I will cut my welt for the knife so that it won't cut my stitches. We'll glue the welt in, then we'll cut the backer, put the back on it, and then stitch it. Now, of course, I won't stitch across here. This is just a line, but my stitches I'll usually start here, and I'll stitch right up this way and come around my sheath all the way around. When I get to here, then I'll stitch right back down this, and it will be all stitched together, glued together, and from there you just, whatever coating you want to put on it, sheen, shine, oil, whatever you want to do to it at that point, it will be finished. So I will see you on the next video.